a little bit and figure out how to hang out with you all and answer any questions that you have. So if you're watching this live, feel free to drop those questions in the chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to drop the questions in the comments. But hanging out now, actually just got back from a weekend trip. Went out to Scottsdale, Arizona, just for a day. So Sunday morning I flew out, Monday in the afternoon flew back, but went out for a Premier Protein. It's called a Shakers Retreat. So went out with about 23 other of the Premier Protein influencers out to Scottsdale just for a day to kind of hang out, meet some of the other content creators. It was a really good time. Very fortunate to be able to go. If you were to ask me a few years ago if I thought that I would be here right now, like the answer would be no. Like it still blows my mind, some of the opportunities that I have, and I just love that it has come about, honestly, from just sharing my story. But came back from that yesterday, and I am now just kind of hanging out, catching up on some work. Mondays is typically when I'm filming client check-ins, but I finished filming those this morning instead, and now I am getting ready to get some work done. But before I can get my work done, it's some creative work. I'm gonna be writing some scripts for some voiceovers for scripts. Before I can do that, I gotta like square the house away. So I just finished doing the dishes, making the bed now, and just kind of hanging out for a little bit. And I don't struggle. So I have ADHD, and if you have that at all, you kind of understand or have ever heard the term body doubling. Now, I wasn't diagnosed until later in life. I was like 31. And this is before I was on Instagram or YouTube, TikTok, before any of that. I was having some issues, went and sought some help, and that was something that I was diagnosed with. Now, it's something that my younger brother has, so I knew he had it for a while. And oh, hey, I'm now seeing the chats. So I knew he had it. I was diagnosed later in life, but as they were explaining some of the things, this is before TikTok and Instagram and all that. Now, like ADHD content is kind of prevalent, but at the time it wasn't. So for me, hearing the doctors explain some of the symptoms, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. Like hyper focus. I am absolutely somebody that can like hyper focus on things. If you've been watching the channel at all, and you know, at some point in my life, I was a magician. The reality is I like got hyper fixated on that for a few years, and got into magic. It's part of the reason I've been able to hyper focus on growing on YouTube. But one of the other things is I do struggle with some executive dysfunction. So like setting a doctor's appointment, paying taxes, like nobody likes paying taxes, but like things that you think would be super simple, I really struggle with. So like one of the things that helps is body doubling, I found out. And hanging out with y'all today, I get a little bit of that. So y'all are gonna get to hang out with me while I do some, there's Magic, took that for the weekend. I'll just kind of prepare to do some work here in a little bit. So yeah. So hey, if you have any questions, drop those in the chat. Hey Ryan, what's good? Yo, hello from Canada. What's good? Favorite flavor protein? Absolutely, it's the cafe latte. Hey, what's good, Elizabeth? Unknown. Hey Ryan, been following you since you had around 50,000 followers. I love that, man. Thank you for being part of the journey. I love the opportunity to make these videos and share with you all, and love that you've been around for as long as you have. Ryan, love the content. Keep up the good work. I really appreciate that. And then Hunter asked, do I drink water while fasting? So I absolutely do. I do clean fasting most of the time, which means I'm doing nothing but water or black coffee. And occasionally I'll do a little bit of dirty fasting, which means, you know, I may have a diet soda or something like that. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. Also, there are 189 people joining in live right now. So if you're watching this, do me a favor, double tap the screen and also drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. I always love to see kind of how far these videos make it. So let me know where you're tuning in from. I always love to see, again, kind of how far people are tuning in from. So yeah, but yeah, so did my check-ins this morning, getting a little bit of the house straightened up now, and then I'm going to be writing some voiceover scripts for some shorts and recording those here in a little bit. I gotta straighten the house up first. Yeah, so this weekend was really fun. Again, it was at the Scott Resort in Scottsdale, Arizona. Super nice. Had some amazing food. I have that video that's going to come out here in a few weeks. If you're ever watching the videos and like if you see something in the background, like a little behind the scenes for those of you that are watching this live, or if you're watching on the replay, the videos actually come out. They're about 2 weeks delayed right now. I did that over time. Like I just started creating a little bit of a buffer for myself so that if life happens or something goes on, I'm a little ahead. So I got some awesome video while I was there over the weekend. So that video is going to be coming out in a few weeks. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. Or if you're watching this on the replay, leave them in the comments. But really, just trying to figure out where I'm going to put all this stuff. So one of the things that I got to put away is all of my magic stuff. I got all my filming set up. But one of the things that they asked for the retreat is if we had any special talents or hidden secrets that not a lot of people know about us. And one of the things that I said in there was I used to be a magician or did close-up card magic. So I brought some magic with me. Had to bring out my old kit and figure out what I was going to bring. Brought some stuff with me, but now I got to put that up. Gotta unpack. At some point, I need to do some magic for y'all again. Well, here are y'all in the chat now? There's nobody chatting anything, which is surprising. Oh my gosh. Something happened and I couldn't see any of the things. Oh, we got some people spam in the chat, so that's why. I apologize for that. Watching from Liverpool. You have a crazy fan base here in India. I love that. South Korea. We got Burton, Atlanta, Germany, New Orleans, Chattanooga, Michigan, Missouri. Man, I got all sorts of people. I don't know what I was doing. I must have missed something on the chat. So if you're here watching now, drop it in the chat. What is this live about? Oh, just hanging out. Spain, Liverpool, can you shout me out? 3 Rilla, Nairobi, Pakistan. Wish you Carrie and the girls from South Carolina. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. So did I turn playtime off? I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna mute that person, put the user in timeout. Hey, I'm watching from Germany. I was actually born in Germany. Was born in Fulda. My dad was in the Army. Yes, bring out the magic. Do I miss Publix? So I do miss Publix. It was a great opportunity, a great company. I still am a big fan of Publix. I always loved shopping there. So when I made a career transition and left where I was before, one of the reasons that I sought Publix out was because I loved shopping there. I loved the way that they treated their customers. And I really did feel like if they treated their customers that well, that they cared about their employees as well. And I loved their culture. So I sought Publix out. I like it. One of the things that I missed the most from working at Publix is absolutely the people that I worked with. Worked with some great people in Publix. Best Publix sub. So if I am trying to watch what I'm eating, meaning trying not to go crazy with calories, then I'll just get any of the plain meats, maybe the Italian. It's a little on the higher side, but I'll get the Italian with lots of garlic pickles and black olives. I like that sub. But if I am not as concerned with calories, then it's got to be a chicken tender sub tossed in buffalo sauce with an ungodly amount of garlic pickles. And I say that like whenever I go to Publix and ask them to make me a chicken tender pub sub, I'll be like, more garlic pickles than you would think is appropriate, right? Like I want you to put so much on there that like you're feeling uncomfortable. That's one of my favorite subs. So a chicken tender sub on white bread tossed in buffalo sauce with an ungodly amount of garlic pickles. Hot honey tender wraps, I have not tried those. If you had to leave Florida for some reason, where would you want to live? We love the Smoky Mountains. We're there all the time. So probably the Smoky Mountains. Favorite cheat meal. So I don't call them cheat meals anymore because I do like to, change the narrative around how I look and my relationship with food. So I'll say like a higher calorie meal, but if I'm going to have a higher calorie meal, something like that, I love Whataburger. Like Whataburger fast food, like a double Whataburger with cheese, how it comes. So everything on it, and add sliced jalapenos with a supersized fry and 4 things of spicy ketchup. And Whataburger doesn't have it now. It was a seasonal shake, but they had a salted caramel milkshake that was just incredible. There was let's see, looking big man, crazy sleeper build. Thank you, I appreciate that. So one of the questions that I get all the time, let's see if I can turn my camera around. So one of the questions I get all the time is like, where am I at weight-wise right now? And I am not one, like I don't do too many, like I'm not making shirtless videos out here. But my weight for the last 2 years, I started around 270. I got down to as low as 205. And I was there for about a week or two when I was losing weight 3 years ago. And then I went from 205, I went up a little bit, and I have been maintaining around the 215 level. And right now you got to take into account I'm holding my phone, a battery pack, I've got my shoes on, and I just ate. So right now I'm, let's see, I'm 221, it says. So I've got maybe, 4 pounds of stuff. So 217 right now. Again, I'm typically, if I'm measuring myself, I was 216 this morning. So I typically weigh myself after I've gone to the restroom in the morning. That's typically when I weigh myself. But as far as like a sleeper build goes and everything, I am pretty happy with where I'm at right now. Like, do I have a 6-pack? Like, not even close. But am I able to wear the clothes that I want to wear? Do I feel comfortable in my body? Am I able to do the things that I want to do with the girls? Absolutely. But I also know with as much as I've been eating and consistently working out, like, I feel like I have more muscle than I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm not doing anything special. Like, honestly, it just is consistency. I feel like if I were to lose 10 or 15 pounds, I would absolutely kind of see my muscle come through a little more. So let's see, what's your, all right, so I saw that one. Let's see. You should make a TikTok videos about the best thing you've eaten at restaurants in the last year or month. I like that. Podcast. So the podcast, I think we're launching next week. Next week or the week after. I was deciding on whether or not I was going to start a new YouTube channel or if I was just going to launch it on my main channel. And I decided I am just going to launch it on my main channel so it's easier to find. And for those of you that just watch my shorts, the podcast isn't going to be served to you anyways. Like, if you live in the shorts feed, like, it's not going to overwhelm you. But then that way, if you do want to find it, it's easier to find because it's going to be on my main channel. So I've got the first 6 episodes recorded now. We're in the process of getting those edited, and it should be out next week, maybe the week after. Maybe the week after. If people happen to run into you in public, do you like it if they come up to you, or do you want your space? So I love, like, if you ever see me out in public, come over and say hey. It does not happen that often. It depends on if I'm going to like a place with a lot of people. If there are a lot of people there, the likelihood that somebody finds me is obviously higher. But if you see me, come over and say hey. I love to meet you, say hey. One of the comments that I hate seeing on a video is every once in a while, I'll read a comment for a video and I was like, oh, hey, I saw you, but I didn't want to come over and say hey. Don't feel that way. Again, it doesn't happen too often, but if you ever see me out and about, please come over and say hi. It would mean a lot to me. I love getting to meet you all. You're 100% part of the reason that I make these videos is for you. I understand that behind every view, behind every like, behind every comment is a real person. So I love to meet y'all. So let's see. I've been working out for the past 4 years and I don't have a 6-pack either. Yeah, it's like 𝐂𝐿. It's like reassessing what your goals are. What podcasts are you currently watching? Love Chris Williamson. He's probably one that I listen to frequently because I like hearing his thoughts and stuff. Not too much else currently at the moment, though. I have been in and out of podcasts. Like I'll have periods where I'll listen to stuff. I honestly watch a lot of my content and a lot of my, a lot of the content that I consume is short form media because I do enjoy it. That's part of the reason that I don't make as many long form videos. When I get in my own head about it, going live is easier because I can just like be here with you in the moment. But I like making short form content. I just like storytelling in that medium. And as a result of that, I also like consuming it. Glad to see you live. Where do you start on your weight loss journey when you're about to be on a... Where do you start on your weight loss journey when you're about to be on a 600-pound life TV show? I'm not sure how to answer that. So, I mean, start just by doing something small and being consistent. How are you feeling about UCF football? I'm feeling hopeful. Hopefully we have a good season. I don't know why this chat feature is like, I'm not able to see y'all's comments. Have you ever had any other content creators reach out to you to collaborate? Yeah, I have had a few. I would say most of the people that reach out to me to collaborate are like for podcasts and stuff, like interviews. I'm happy. I don't think, for the most part, I don't think I've said no to a podcast interview request yet, just because I do like to talk. But as far as like making short form videos, I can't think of anybody that's reached out that wants to make a short form video with me. I would love to. I love making this stuff. All right, y'all. Well, it is time to get back to work now. I got everything unpacked from the weekend. So I'm gonna go write some scripts and record some voiceovers. Thanks for tuning into the live. If you have enjoyed this, be sure to give it a like, leave a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.